So, if you're a fan of art and science, would you assume that language and thought are the same? If so, you think like many people. However, there are a huge amount of people who think differently. This creates massive controversy within cognitive science, within psychology, within linguistics, within anthropology. The theory that language shapes the way you think, and that language and thought are the same, or at least closely related enough to affect one another, that's called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, named for two prominent proponents of this in the 20th century. Without getting into the details of Sapir-Whorf, suffice it to say that language affects thought is one of the main outcomes of this theory, one of the main things posited. But many people think that actually language isn't thought. Language is separate. Somehow thoughts get translated into language. Some people have even called it mentalese, that you think a certain way and that this itself is translated into whatever language you speak. Obviously that's simplifying, there must be intermediate steps. However, some people would say that the language you speak affects your whole worldview, the way you see the world. I'll link to a TED talk which says just that. There are people in the middle, however. There are those who would say, well, okay, language isn't thought, but it affects thought. But it doesn't affect your whole worldview. It doesn't say, oh, because I speak X, I think Y. Some studies suggest that if you speak a language like Greek or Russian, languages that have two words for blue, one for, say, light blue, sky blue, and another for darker, almost more navy blue, that if you speak a language like that, you actually see blue differently. Or, at the very least, you're able to distinguish shades of blue at a faster rate. You're able to distinguish blue more rapidly than, say, English speakers, where we say blue first, and later, if we wish to, we specify what type of blue. Sky blue, navy blue, etc. But that's not by a huge amount. And does simple processing speed really mean that language is affecting your thought? Or is it a slight habituation to say, I don't know, say that light blue jumper over there, or that navy blue sweater, is that important in your environment? Sky blue versus navy blue? If you're a speaker of that language, perhaps, but isn't that then the culture in which you live, not the language itself forcing you? And that's indeed what many people would say, that the culture you inhabit, that culture is what's promoting this difference in thought. So if you live in a culture where a distinction in, I don't know, types of animals or colors or categories for people, even gender, something like that, we're getting back into worldview now, that distinction is cultural. And that, of course, that could be coded into language, or maybe it's not even, but that's independent. That what words exist in your language may not say anything about what that culture values at all. For instance, gender is arguably very important in Turkish society, and yet there's no gender in the Turkish language. Think about that. Food for thought, eh? Well, I hope you've enjoyed this short. If you'd like me to make a longer video about language and thought, let me know in the comments. So stay tuned for some more psychology shorts. Bye!